everyone, welcome to Diana's Table. Some of you who have watched my previous video on how to wrap with 보재기 have asked me to share my ideas on how to wrap with different kinds of materials. So today, I would like to share my ideas on how to wrap with plain tissue paper or plain cloth to make your Christmas holiday gifts a little more special. So let's get started. Today, we will wrap bread, wine, a jam, and a book. These are sort of the very common items that I'm sure you will use or as gifts this upcoming holiday. Here I have a roll of cotton gauze. It may be unfamiliar to you, but in Korea we use a lot of these to cook and also to wrap. It's very convenient because they sell them by the roll. So I'm going to cut it, place the bread onto the gauze, and it keeps the bread still moist if you wrap it in cotton. Of course, you know that. So let me just cut it here. So I'll just wrap it around the bread. Set it aside. So since it's very hard to get 보재기, I would recommend using just simple cotton. Make sure the bread is sitting right in the middle. Grab the four corners like this. And from the bottom, just wrap around the bread. And here, it's really take a rubber band and go around maybe 3 times just to make sure that it's tight. So pull at the 4 corners so that the bread is tightly wrapped with the cloth. Then you make little sort of like rabbit ears. So pull out the rubber band with your finger here and pull through the one ear only halfway like this. So you have made 4 petals here, 4 leaves, and you have little bunched up cloth here. So it's important to spread it out so that you get a lot more volume this way. Okay? Makes it really look like a flower. And then with your hand, add the height. So here it is, a very nice gift that you can take to your friends for housewarming. Actually, my friend Ina tells me that in Germany, when you move, you take them bread and salt as gifts. So try this wrapping next time you go to visit a friend who has just moved and you want to take her bread. Next, I'll show you how to wrap your bottle of wine with plain tissue paper. Of course, it's always nice to have very nice colored tissue paper. And because tissue paper is so thin, I'm going to be using 2 different colors. Here I'm going to be using green and beige. You lay your bottle of wine in the middle of the tissue paper with enough space in the bottom to cover the bottom part like this. You don't want it too much, so just measure so it pulls up. When it pulls up, it goes to the bottom. I'm going to fold this over. So you wrap it about halfway and put a scotch tape just to tie it down. You want to make sure that the paper is tightly wrapped around the bottom or body of the wine. So when you use 2 different color paper, here you cannot really see the difference as much, but it's always nice to have that beige and green 2 tones coming through. So start to tuck in the bottom like this. Just make sure that it's tucked in properly. The key to this wrapping lies in the ribbon. Here I'm going to be using very long, thin, cord-like ribbon. And I'll show you why. Because it's kind of plain right now. So you want to make it look very interesting by almost tying it like how you tie a Greek sandal. The top part, you can actually just leave it, but then, you know, I like to actually make it tie around like this, right here, and then have a little tie again. Make sure the end of the tie falls in line with the bottom one as well. Tie it twice, very tight. And then, you know, you want to cut it. And then you can open it up to make it into a flower. It becomes very nice and very delicate flower on top. And you don't want very long strings attached. Cut it very close to the knot. So here is your wine ready to go. So what do you think? It looks pretty, doesn't it? I made this mountain cherry jam 2 months ago because I'm going to give it as Christmas gift this year. It was very hard to make and it was very time consuming because you have to get all the seeds out. And maybe next time we can have an episode on how to make mountain cherry jam. So I'll show you how I wrap it with, I'm going to be using gray and pink tissue paper. And let's get started here. You put it in the middle. Make sure that it's even right in the middle. Just measure on all 4 corners. And then, while you're pinching the 2 corners, bring in the other ones here. And you get these little 4 wings. And make sure that the wings are going all in one direction, like this. Right? And I'm going to just scrunch it up. And can you already see sort of the beautiful flower that's being formed on top? And I need my, my rubber band again. I think I go through about 100 rubber bands a year. So pull the rubber bands, and only twice because you don't really want the tissue. The tissue paper is very, delicate, and you don't want it to tear. So you fold out the tissue paper. This is where you really need to be creative because I'm going to be cutting the top to make it more like a flower. You get one of the rabbit ears like here, and you fold it in half like this, and you just cut it like a tulip. So you get like little rounded ears, not the pointed ears. You do that for all 4 corners. And you start to pull apart and separate each of the leaves. And you have really nice gray color, giving highlight to supporting the very beautiful pink here. So you can be actually creative and use different color combinations, different ribbon combinations to make it as delicate or as sexy, as dark as you want. But I think that having the pink, I chose pink because it's cherry jam, so I would know. And I'm going to add a ribbon, and I want to show you how I do a 3-bow ribbon tie. Usually we make 1 or 2 bow, but here we will do the 3-bow. So basically, we're very familiar with just the two bow, which is like this, right? I'll show you how we do the 3-bow. We'll just take one. You tie one here and come back with another bow here. So with just one side, you have 2 bows. You pull both the other string through and tie a bow together. So you get a 3-bow. Do you see the 3 bows? And cut it. So voila, here it is. Finally, I'm going to show you how I wrap my books. This is one of my favorite books because it is a gift from a friend. Actually, the title is called Whispered, and it lists all the wonderful places to go and see in Rome. And the title is Whispered because you're supposed to whisper to your friend all the secret places that you want them to try. I think it would be really wonderful to have such a book for Korea. And hopefully, maybe we can do it. So anyway, I'll show you how I wrap my book a little more delicate and special way. Perfect wrapping if you want to give something special to someone elderly or someone very special in your life. So let's get started. First, it's important to measure out the paper, wrapping paper, to fit the item, the book, perfectly. So you fold over to the half. And again, so when you fold over to the middle and you fold over the other side, you don't want it to cover too much. So you just want to make sure that it covers maybe just an inch. So maybe you can see it better this way, like that. See, an inch. Actually, you can actually wrap it like this if you have double-sided, and it's very pretty. But today I want to show you something a little more complicated. So the other side, you want to make sure that they don't overlap too much, not even an inch like the side. So maybe less than a half an inch of overlapping. And then again, on both sides, top and bottom. So I'm going to start to make the little wings onto the book. And what you need to do is you need to fold in the sides and make sure that it's a 45-degree angle right here. On both sides, like this. So when you flip it over, you want to make sure all the ends are very nice and neat. And the same goes here. Then I'm going to go to the top. And then you do the same to the top. Both give the side wings at 45 degrees. Make sure that the creases are in. Again, on the same side. It's almost like you're putting clothes onto the book. So instead of just plain wrapping, you get a book that has very nice creases, like a collar of your clothes. So let me tape it down. So you just have to make sure that this fits really well before you start to put the tape down. I'm going to use double-sided tape. So the book is finally all wrapped in very nice pleats. I'm going to tie it with a very simple cord. I'll do it twice just to... Well, the book is now ready. I don't know if you can see the creases clearly, but it's almost like having the book wear Korean hanbok. So I think it's a very nice way to wrap a gift for someone very special. And I like to use a very simple cord to make it almost look like you have a belt around the cloth. So enjoy. And hope you try it.